Good evening, everyone. This is Leanne from Of Love and Shiplap and the founder of Sublimation graphics and tutorials on Facebook. If you're joining us on YouTube, be sure to come join our Facebook group for regular tutorials. The URL is listed below and in the end of this video. Tonight we're going to be demoing how to sublimate a wall coat hanger available from Conde. Their website is dyetrans.com and you can find the link to this specific product in the video description. Wall coat hangers are a really great item to give all year round. You can use them for housewarmings, wedding gifts, and then of course with the upcoming holiday season, they're a great item to add to anyone's wish list. You can design them any number of ways, and Conde actually does carry 3 different sizes of these coat hangers, so you have a little bit of versatility and flexibility in terms of the price point for what you're offering. Today we're going to be doing the model that is 8 inches by 13 inches, so this is their large size. It comes with 3 hooks, which I'll show you guys all that in a second. And they're about a ½ inch thick. They cost $19, just under $19, and of course plus shipping. You might be thinking that seems like a lot for a coat hanger, but a quick look on Etsy revealed that the average just basic wooden coat hanger, and I'm talking like a solid piece of pine that's just got some stain on it and some of these little octopus looking hooks, is going for a minimum of $40 plus shipping. So I think that the price point for these can easily be around $50. They weighed 2.5 pounds about. So you can ship these in the US and they're gonna cost you between $7 and $10 depending on where they're going. And then of course also depending on how you ship them. Now, because these are a solid MDF, they're not breakable. They're not likely to get cracked. They're not likely to get crushed and bent. You can actually ship these with a layer of bubble wrap in a poly mailer, which is how I would ship them 100%. It will be the most cost-effective way. And even with factoring that poly mailer in, you're going to be looking at $7 to $8 just to ship this. So for a $50 item, that's definitely more reasonable rate, and it's more reasonable than I think that these would have to go in a large flat rate box. So without further ado, let me turn you guys around and show you what we're working with. Okay, so like I said, we've got our we've got our 13 by 8 wall hanger, coat hanger, and you'll see it's got some hooks on the back, so you can just put your nails in and slide it on. It comes with 3 of these guys and the screws. For some reason, I could only find 2 this morning, but it's okay because this is going to be a gift from my sister for Christmas, so I got some time to find it, but for tonight's demo, I'll just do 2. We're gonna need heat glove because this is gonna be very hot when we pull it off the press. You can use heat tape. You do not want to use spray adhesive anytime you do something like these. And then we also have our transfer. This is our little part of our little design trio that's free this week. And I printed this on A-sub paper using A-sub paper using a Workforce 7710 printer with printer jack ink. So we're going to go ahead and get this on the heat press. And this is a very quick tutorial because these take no time at all. So the first thing I did was adjust my press. This should be pressed with medium pressure. Because I'm using a clamshell, that did require me to open my press all the way to turn the knob as much as it could go. Trying to do thicker substrates like this can sometimes seem like a challenge when you're using a clamshell. The main thing is to make sure that you're getting solid pressure and that this is not lifting up like this when it's pressed down. So this did have a protective film on it, which I have already removed. It's pink, so you can't miss it. But keep in mind that anytime you use anything that is an MDF, it is likely to have some sort of protective coating on it that you will want to remove prior to sublimating. Same with aluminum. There's a lot of items that have like a clear film on them as well. So anytime you're doing something like this on a clamshell, you want to make sure that you push it all the way to the back so you're going to get the best pressure possible. we're gonna go ahead and line up our transfer. Actually, I'm gonna trim my transfer so that it'll be a little easier to make sure it's centered and even. I made sure to add about 1/4 of an inch around the edge of my transfer so that I would have a little extra room to work with. Okay. So I'm going to get this centered on my transfer. I'm just trying to make sure that everything is lined up. Okay, it looks pretty good. So I'm going to really carefully kind of slide this and then make sure I've got a hold onto it and flip it over. And we're going to place this where it needs to go. And I'm just going to double check once more. There's kind of a line at the top of this design, so it makes it easy to make sure that that line is lined up with the edge of the substrate. Okay. We're going to go ahead and put a protective sheet on this as always because we want to make sure to protect our press from any ink that might escape. I'm using builder's paper today because I'm all out of everything else. All right. Ooh. I'm just going to tighten this just a hair. There we go. We want to make sure that we've got that nice medium firm pressure. You'll notice it was harder the second time to press it. So we're going to do this at 400 degrees for 90 seconds. That's what's recommended by Conde. Same with using the medium firm pressure is also their recommendation. I'm using my 16 by 20 heat press from acesdeals.net. This is a very value-friendly press if you are in the market for a larger one. I primarily upgraded because I wanted to be able to do garden flags in one press. And a lot of my doormat designs that are not full edge-to-edge color fit perfectly on this press. So it was right around $300 and then plus shipping, and shipping was only like 30 bucks. And it arrived in just a few days. So I highly recommend for anyone who's looking for a nice budget-friendly option. Now you might notice that the timer is not counting down, and that's because it's not registering this as long enough. So we are actually timing this secondary to make sure that it does actually run the full time. You might run into this problem with your heat press. It really is because of how far open we had to turn the knob in order to get this substrate to work on this press. Now, a swing away press is 100% better for anything like this that is basically a ½ inch thick. And there are quite a few substrates that are like that, including crystals and some different types of MDF. So just something to keep in mind. I don't personally do very many items that are this thick. This is really just more for a demo for you guys. So as a result, I don't have to worry too much about this. It's been just about 90 seconds now. We've got just a few seconds to go. I'm going to carefully pop that up. Woo! All right. I have a timer just so you guys know I wasn't like totally winging it. This is going to be very hot. If I can get it off of there. I noticed that it, like the backside of this weirdly clings to the silicone mat. All right, so I'm gonna bring it over here so it'll cool off a little faster. All right, so you can see that the colors in our design, they look pretty good. I did have a little bubble in my paper, and that is okay, because this is just a gift for my sister. But again, if I had another one of these and this wasn't on a live video, I would just adjust my pressure. That's the only spot that seems to have a little bit of funk color, but it's not really gonna matter because the rest of it looks great, and honestly, it doesn't really deter from the hearts themselves, especially because our name looks really nice. So once this is cooled down, which is not quite there yet, but it's getting there, we're gonna go ahead and take the screws and little octopus hook that are provided. If you happen to lose one, I'm pretty sure mine is just in my highly unorganized supply of sublimation blanks. But if you do lose them, you can get more. They're called wardrobe hooks. You can get these at any place, Walmart, Home Depot. The holes are conveniently pre-drilled, and you don't even need to have a drill to do this. I've got a perfectly handy 88-cent screwdriver for today. It would go a lot faster with my drill, but you know, I want you guys to know it's okay to do some physical labor for your products. And now you can, of course, personalize this or not personalize this. I think that this particular item, especially because of the price point, is a really great product to sell at vendor fairs because people are already in the mindset that they're going to spend more money. And you can always do pre-orders of this and then get a little bit of a discount on your bulk ordering from Conde. Because I think, you know, depending on, you know, the more quantity you order, the better the price is. So one more time, I'll show you guys this. I'm not going to screw them all in. But just so you guys get an idea of this beautiful, beautiful piece. I, for one, am really impressed with how this came out. I think the colors look great, and this is going to be a great Christmas gift. Like I said, we did have this little bit of uneven pressure on our hearts, which was most likely because I lifted the press to tighten it just a little bit. So always make sure your press is adjusted accordingly to start. But everything else came out solid and looks great. So as far as I'm concerned, this was a win, and it's going to make a great gift this holiday season. If you guys have questions, leave them in the comments below. The links for all the products we used tonight in this very fast demo are in the description. And be sure to come subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. Have a great night.